Hello everyone, Carm3D here with a video for everybody. It's not just for my students, but it's primarily for my students, but I think a lot of people with ZBrush out there can benefit from this too. I saw this tutorial on YouTube and I'll link it right here, that helped me out with Retopology and ZBrush. It's a great video and I wanted to give him props for that. But it only took me 90% of the way, and I was curious how I'm supposed to get the information that I retopologized out of ZBrush along with the displacement maps that go with it and whatnot. So it just hit me how to do that, so I'm going to put this on the video form for everybody and for myself too. It'd be nice for me to have a reference because it is a complex process. So let's do that now. And I'll be happy. Alright, the first thing I want to do is make an object that I can deform before I retopologize. So let me just choose my sphere thing here. Alright, now I can start sculpting. Okay, I'm running into some pinching because of the pole of this sphere, so I'm going to turn on Dynamesh so I can get rid of that. Okay, that's good enough. I'm just going to put some finer details on here to help make it more obvious that I will be indeed preserving the displacement map. Unfortunately, I don't have my Wacom tablet with me, so this is not going to be an amazing sculpting. Okay, I got some finer details there that will make it obvious if the displacements are working. Okay, I will now start adding the topology. I'm going to go into the subtool palette and I'll choose append and I'll choose a Z-sphere. So you can see there are now the original graphic here and then the Z-sphere. So I'll choose that. With that active, I will go to topology and click on edit topology. Start clicking. I want to lower my draw size here. So you just start clicking away where you want the geometry to be, the points. This red dot here is your active dot, and wherever you click it's going to draw a line to that, from that red dot to wherever you click. If you want to move a dot, you can click on the move button here, and then when I click on a dot I can drag it and it's sliding across the surface of the model. Go back into draw mode and do some more drawing. I have this red dot highlighted. I want to have this one active. If I just click here, it'll draw a line from here to here, which I don't want. So I'm going to tap the right mouse button. If there's a line you don't want, excuse me, a dot, if there's a dot you don't want, alt click on it and it will get rid of everything connected to that dot. Okay, if I want to add a dot in the middle of a line, you can see there are 3 locations on the line where I can add a dot. Of course, if you wanted to fine-tune it further, you just go into move mode and then I can drag it around wherever I want. there's another way you can deselect your dot. It's by clicking outside the model. But if you're too zoomed in where you cannot see any background, then you can just right click and then move away and it will deselect. Anytime you want, you can hit the A button to preview it. I'm going to turn off this other subtool layer so I can see it. Now this is subdividing it, and I don't want that while I'm doing this, so I will put that down there to 1, and now I can see the actual points. Hit A again. I'm back into this mode, and I'll want to unhide my original geometry so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I want to get rid of this line so I can have a quad here. So I will click to add a point on that line and then alt click and the line is gone. Now I have a quad. Okay, well unfortunately my screen recorder crashed during the second half of my topologizing sequence, but you can see I got my raw geometry created when I hit the A button. I'm bringing it back this way. Okay, I'm going to paint some details on the original layer, not my Z-sphere guy, but the original thing I was sculpting on. I'm going to go into colorize mode and just sketch some garbage on there just so I can make sure that I can also transfer the color texture as well as the displacement texture. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to go to my subtool and activate my Z-sphere, and then I will choose under adaptive skin, I will choose make adaptive skin. Back in subtools, I will choose append, which is essentially it's going to add a new subtool layer. And then here it is right here. This is my newly created thing when I hit make adaptive skin. So let's hide everything but the new adaptive skin. You can see this is definitely the new topology. I'm going to divide this a number of times. Yeah, one more time. Okay, so I got a very high number of polygons there, well, relatively high. My next step, I'm going to select my Z-sphere layer, and I'll delete that. I got the tool saved before I did this, so I'm not going to lose anything. I'll make sure everybody is visible. This is my new geometry that I appended. I have that one visible and active. And then I will choose under project, I will choose project all. It's telling me one of the tools has polypaint. Do I want to project that? I say yes. It's calculating. And there it goes. So as you can see, it is, I just hid the original layer, so I'm only looking at the new layer, and it looks pretty nasty. So let's undo that. And I have found that if I crank the distance to 1, it seems to work better. So you can play with all of these projection tweaking options, but this is working for me when I switched that to 1. So I'll say project all again. Yes, polypaint data should be transferred. It's calculating once again. And there it goes. It looks pretty good. Let me hide my original layer, so now I'm looking at the new layer. Put on my poly frame, you can see that it's indeed the new geometry that I had topologized. So my next step is to export this stuff so I can work with it outside of ZBrush. I go down to my first subdivision level, and I'm going to export this. Before I do, I'm going to save my tool, Funky Eye 2. I don't want to lose my original one just in case, but this is the second copy. I'm going to save this out as an OBJ. The painting and the displacements won't be there because I don't have any UVs yet. So I'm going to create my UVs in another program, and I'll bring it back and I'll show you all that after this edit. Okay, I have restarted ZBrush. I closed it down and then restarted just to clear everything out. And I'm going to import my new OBJ Funky Eye with UVs. Hit Edit in the Z plugin UV Master. I will copy UVs. Now I will load my other tool. This is the other one with the original still there. I'm going to delete that. I think I can safely delete that. If I switch this over, and increase the geometry, yeah, everything's still there. Okay, so let's go back into that Z plugin and choose Paste UVs. Let me set the resolution here. I guess 2000's fine. Now we'll go to Displacement Map. I'll turn on Adaptive and create Displacement Map. It is currently processing. Okay, there it is. I will hit Clone Map. There it is. Notice in the intensity it says 0.2129. So my displacement is in the alpha channel. So if I go in the alpha menu here, I can flip the verticals and export. Okay. I might as well make a normal map while I'm here. Tangent is the one I will use. Turn adaptive on and create normal map. And there it is. Clone normal map. That puts it into texture. I will flip the verticals and export. And the last one would be color texture. It looks like there's already an image there. I'm going to hit create anyway. New from Polypaint. It looks like the same image. So clone the texture. it pushes it in here. Flip the vertical and export. Okay, here I am in Lightwave, and it's worth noting that this is the object that I originally loaded into Silo to create the UVs. I did not export anything out of ZBrush after that point, so this is the object I'm working with. So let's load up these textures. Displacement, color, and normal. Let's put the color in there. Let's put the displacement, the normal map in there. That's the stuff. Okay, but that's not complete yet. Let's just add the displacement real quick. This is important with Lightwave. Turn the bitmap quality to 0 when you are working with displacement maps. I will copy my note of 21.2129. It looks hideous right now, but I'll fix that in a moment. It's definitely working though. We can see the details of the wrinkles there. For those who don't know, ZBrush uses middle gray for zero displacement, and then white is positive displacement and black is negative displacement. But Lightwave uses black for no displacement. So that's why I am subtracting negative 0.5 from this, and that will bring the midground where it's supposed to be. And then the only thing remaining is to adjust the amplitude using multiply. And I'll paste that value in there. I think that will do it. I'm going to increase the resolution of the preview here so we can see it. Yep, everything looks just like it did in ZBrush now. So that's a good thing. So I want to say thanks again for the guy who posted that original topology video. And that would be concluding this video. I hope you was able to get something from it, and I'll see you next time.